Most professionals do meaningful work every week, but when an interview comes, they suddenly have to remember 6 months of impact in 2 days. They open their resume, they check old docs, they look at old dashboards, they scroll through their notes, and then they ask themselves, what did I even achieve? This is the problem I'm solving or I'm building around. I'm building Evidra AI, an evidence-first AI career growth agent. But I'm not starting with the full platform. I'm starting with one paid workflow, the interview sprint. In this video, I'll walk through the problem, why existing career tools feel incomplete, and why the first version of Evidra AI is not a full career operating system. It is one focused workflow that turns real career evidence into interview ready stories, a role specific prep kit, practice feedback, and a 7-day improvement plan. So, before talk about the product, I want to talk about the problem because this is where most career tools start too late. The reason this problem interests me is that it sits right at the intersection of product, career growth, and AI. And honestly, I've seen this pattern repeatedly. People have strong experience. They shipped things. They solved messy problems. They influenced decisions. They improved metrics. They worked through ambiguity. But when they need to explain that work, the story often comes out vague. And that vagueness is expensive. It affects interviews, it affects promotions, it affects LinkedIn positioning, it affects recruiter perception, it affects how senior someone sounds. So the product question becomes, what if career growth did not start when you needed a resume? What if it started when actually the work is being done? Because by the time someone is preparing for an interview, a lot of useful details are already gone. And that leads to the core problem I'm calling the career evidence delay. So here is the core problem. The career evidence decays. You remember the project name, but not the before state. Remember that the work mattered, but not the metrics. You remember that a stakeholder appreciated the work, but not the exact business problem. Remember that you led something difficult, but not the trade-offs you made. You remember the final outcome, but not the messy middle. And then an opportunity arrives, a recruiter call, a promotion cycle, a profile update, a job interview, a LinkedIn post, and someone asks, tell me about a time you drove impact. Suddenly, you're not preparing from evidence, you are preparing from memory. That is why many strong candidates sound weaker than they actually are. Not because the work was weak, but because the proof was never captured when it was fresh. Imagine someone says in an interview, I worked on improving onboarding and collaborated with different teams. That may be actually true, but it is weak. Now compare that with an evidence backed version. I noticed new users were dropping off during setup, worked with design and engineering to simplify the flow, tested the change, and improved activation by 15%. The second answer is actually strong because it has context, action, ownership, and outcome. That is the difference between memory backed preparation and evidence backed preparation. So, if this is a real problem, then the next question is why don't existing tools already solve it? Existing tools solve part of the problem. Resume builders help you package what you remember. Job trackers help you manage applications. Mock interviews help you prepare and practice delivery for the interviews. Generic AI tools help you generate answer. Live interview co-pilots may help you in the moment, but also create trust and ethical issues. The problem is not that these tools are useless. The problem is that most of them start too late. They start when you are already applying, already interviewing, already trying to sound polished. already trying to reconstruct your work from memory. Evidra AI starts one layer earlier. It starts with evidence. The question is not only can AI write a better interview answer? The better question is can AI help me find, structure, and reuse the real proof behind my career? That is the missing product layer. And once I saw that, the product inside became much simpler. So, the product insight is simple. The career growth should be evidence first, not content first. Content is about the output. The evidence is the asset. If you have structured evidence, you can generate a better resume bullet. You can create a stronger star story. You can prepare a specific job description. You can write a LinkedIn post that doesn't sound fake. You can brief a coach faster. You can build a story bank that improves over time. But if you start from a blank chat box, the AI has to guess. And in career products, guessing is a dangerous game. It can cause generic claims. It can inflate metrics. It can produce stories that sound good but are not grounded in real work. So, Evidra AI should not be a generic chat box. It should be a system that turns real work into reusable career assets. Now, that sounds like a big platform, and long term, it is. But version 1 cannot be about building everything. The long term vision of Evidra AI is a proactive career growth agent. It helps professionals capture career evidence, build a story bank, prepare for interviews, create recruiter attracting signals, and stay ready for opportunities before they actually arrive. The broader system could have multiple loops. Career loop captures work evidence continuously. Story loop turns that evidence into interview ready stories. Interview loop prepares users for specific roles. Signal loop turns strong stories into public proof on LinkedIn, X, or a portfolio. Loop Copilot suggests the next best career action. Coach Loop could add human review later for high stakes situations. But this is where product discipline matters. That full vision is too broad for version 1. Too many workflows, too many assumptions, too many user types, too many reasons to get distracted. So I asked myself a sharper question. What is the first workflow someone would actually pay for? And for me, that answer is the interview sprint. So the first workflow is the interview sprint. The user has a target role or an upcoming interview. They upload their resume. They paste the job description. They add 3 to 5 career highlights. Then Evidra AI extracts evidence cards. It asks for missing metrics or missing context. It builds 5 to 7 interview ready stories. It maps those stories to the job description. It generates a role specific prep kit. It gives practice feedback. It generates a 7 day improvement or preparation plan. That is a wedge, not the entire career operating system. One urgent workflow, one concrete outcome, one paid artifact. This matters because career growth is broad, but help me prepare for this specific role is urgent. And that urgency matters greatly in a 0 to 1 product development. The goal is not to improve the whole vision immediately. The goal is to prove that users will pay for role specific interview readiness built from their real career evidence. If that works, the story bank becomes the foundation for a larger platform. But a focused product is not only about what you build, it is also about what you deliberately not build. A big part of this product is what I'm choosing not to build yet. I'm not building a mobile first product. I'm not building a browser extension first. I'm not building a coach marketplace. I'm not building complex integrations before manual capture works. I'm not building a generic LinkedIn content generator detached from evidence. And I'm definitely not positioning this as an unauthorized live interview assistance. The product should help people prepare better, reflect better, and tell the truth better, not fake competence in real time. That matters for trust. And in a career product, trust is not a feature. Trust is the product. So that is the week one product decision. Problem first, evidence layer second, paid wedge third. So that was the week one of building Evidra AI in public. The problem is career evidence decay. The product insight is the evidence first career growth. The first wedge is the interview sprint. Next, I'll break down the users' personas. Active job seekers, career switchers, senior professionals, public builders, coaches. And I'll explain how those personas shape the roadmap, the product experience, and the first go to market decisions. If you are building AI products, thinking about career goals, preparing for interviews, or hiring product people, follow along. I'll be sharing the product strategy, prompts, architecture, go to market strategy, pricing, and actual build decisions behind Evidra AI. And the goal is not to make this look like a finished startup. The goal is to show that the real product thinking behind getting from an idea to a paid most viable product or MVP. So, to cover it all up, week one is about the problem and the wedge. Next, I'll break down who this is for and why I am starting with active job seekers, switchers, and AI product professionals. Thank you.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more AI product builds and MBP case studies. GitHub, blog, and full resources are linked in the description. See you in the next build.